Yeah, it was a bold title, but I'm sticking to it. Not because it's hyperbole or because I'm trying to get you to quit, but because I really think you can do this. And in fact, I've done it, just not in this time frame. And the reason I didn't do it in this time frame is not because it wouldn't have worked. It's because it took me a bit to understand what I'm about to explain to you here. So if I would have started over, understood these beliefs, and implemented it, I think I could have got there in under 36 months. I know I could have. So it's an abnormal pace to go from an intern to the lead developer in 3 years. So we just have to get clear that this is going to take a different technique. The normal progression is a lot slower, and this is just like the market. If you want 8%, do an index fund. If you want to get 20% year over year, you got to do something that most people aren't doing. I want to explain the problem with the normal mindset, the average mindset, about how to level up as your developer career progresses. The average mindset is coming from your educational background in high school, maybe college, maybe a boot camp, where you just do things that are expected of you well enough, and then you go to the next level as if it's a video game. And so when you apply that thinking to code, what people end up doing is they just write code, then the code gets merged, they close the issues or the tickets, then they kind of focus on making the code clean and nice to read and look at. And that's all well and good. But then the problem is they expect how that is going to get them fast tracked. That's not going to get you fast tracked. That's just going to keep you above water and keep you employed. Maybe if there needs to be cuts and other people are doing that same thing better than you, then it might not even be enough to stay there. So that's the problem I want to dispel. It's not enough to just like show up every day and code and expect to have fast progression here. But it's also not right to just go all out on those same activities in that same mindset and think that it's going to get you to the next level. So what I mean is if you just write really clean code, if you just hit every KPI, if you just merge more PRs, if you just close more tickets yourself, it's not going to get you fast tracked in the same way, because you're just getting better at being an individual contributor at your level, and you're not necessarily demonstrating that you can do it at a future level yet. So I guess the premise of that first mindset is like, if I just do my job well and at a high level and just do more volume, then I'll be rewarded with a promotion quickly. And that's not how it works, because as opposed to in school, when you are rewarded for just hitting good marks, the way you move up in the corporate world is through conversations. It's not even through like your annual review. It's not through like a look at all the tickets and then they promote the one who closed the most tickets. That's not how it works. It works based on conversations with people. And so you're not optimizing for code merged. You're optimizing for those conversations to go really well. And what you really want is you want this. You want this phrase to come out of the right people's mouths. And that's how it's going to fast track you. We want them to think, we can't lose this guy. If that is the real belief in the right people, you'll get fast tracked. So let me walk through how this plays out in real life to make it a little more clear what you have to do. You're an intern down here, and you're working part-time, and they're deciding who to bring back next summer or next winter break or whatever next semester. Out of a bunch of interns, they're going to ask the people who the interns interfaced with mostly, which is going to be the software engineers and probably the junior engineers who are working with you, because you don't necessarily want the best of the best engineer to be working with the intern. There's just better use of that guy's time. So they're gonna ask these people, "Hey, what'd you think of Bobby? Was Bobby good? Should we bring him back, or should we bring back Billy, or or Bianca?" Then they're gonna say, "Well, Bobby was the best. Bring back Bobby. We can't lose Bobby. I don't these other two, whatever. But as long as we bring back Bobby, I'm happy." Okay, that's one example. Now you're back, or you're invited to be the junior engineer. Now you're the junior engineer. And by the way, I'm titling all these as software engineers because it's not so much about the title. There's a rank and file regardless of the title, and it's kind of like self-organizing among the engineers. So you're at the bottom here because you just got invited. Maybe you graduated from school and you're kind of just trying to get by, and you're working with the mid-level people who are competent, but they're not like the top dog of the team. You probably want to optimize for those people to think highly of you. If you can get the top dog, that's great too. But you don't really need to worry about the project managers just yet. Like, you're going to interface with them a lot, yeah, but you're not really leading them in the same way that the top dog is. Also, the UX people are doing their own thing over here, and you could try to impress them really well, but they just don't have as much pull in these conversations as these other people do. With QA in the totem pole probably sits at like a junior developer level, at least in my experience. And so I would try to optimize for those conversations with them being in their good graces like early on, intern junior level, because they could ask these people too if they should bring you back. But once you get up here, they're kind of below you then in terms of skill and importance. So you're on the team full time now, and you're writing code, and you're optimizing for a conversation between the engineering manager and one of these guys, where the engineering manager is like, "Hey, how's Bobby doing?" And you want these guys or girls to say, "Bobby's great. Bobby's really good. Bobby really helps me a lot. I love when Bobby's there. When Bobby went on vacation, it was like really rough. Like, we can't lose Bobby." If you can get interfacing with the top dog, that's like the best case scenario at this stage when you're junior mid-level engineer, because although this guy has the same title, he is running a lot of stuff. Like, a lot of stuff is running through him. All of the engineers are looking to him for guidance on technical decisions and fixing the hardest problems. The QA people are coming to him when they can't figure out the issues. The UX people are looking to this guy for whether what they're proposing is feasible or not. And then, of course, the interns or the really low-level people are almost like shielded from this guy because his time is so valuable that like they can't even access him, even though on paper he's just one level above them on their title. And then these project managers, delivery managers, are in meetings with the engineering managers and the other managers here, and they need to speak on how the engineering team is going. They need to know the jargon. They need to know how to report. And it's almost like this guy is outsourcing himself to them, so he doesn't have to be in these meetings. So he'll meet with one of them and like give an update on the product, and say in a 1 minute summary on how things are going. And then this person will go off into their 5 meetings with these other teams and groups and stakeholders and just parrot what this guy said to simplify things. And then, of course, the engineering manager, the VP of engineering, is going to talk with this guy a lot too to see how the product is going, what are the challenges, what are the bottlenecks. Like, these guys talk a lot, and there's a lot of trust there. Depending on how big the org is, the CTO might even be talking to this person a lot too, unless there's a ton of other teams, and then it might just go through the engineering manager a lot. But you can just see, once you get to this level of competence and leadership, like, you're affecting everything. So when this person says, we can't lose that guy. We can't lose Bobby. Bobby's not going anywhere. Bobby's getting the promotion because everyone trusts this guy so much. So early on, intern level, you're just trying to get that we can't lose Bobby from one of the normal engineers. Huge bonus if you can get it from the top dog. Down here, you have to get it from the top dog. Okay, it has to come from this guy. At this point, you would get promoted to lead dev, and you would become here, or maybe a little below him, but you would be elevated. This is going to happen. So this is you now. This is going to happen regardless of the title, and you want to get here as quickly as possible, and not worry about the title out the gate. Like, it might take a number of months before you get there on paper and even on pay, but you can pick up this responsibility without having the piece of paper that says that, or without your pay going up. Along the way, when you're doing this, you're operating at the lead level, and you're sort of becoming a peer with this guy, or the right-hand man with this guy. This is when you pull the switch. This is when you start interviewing for other places. This is when you build up your leverage. This is when you get the resume ready. You are just mentally preparing yourself to level up. Then, after a period of time, you're probably talking with your engineering manager, with this guy, like a cycle where you see a window happening where you could get promoted. In terms of your pay, I'm not even concerned about the title. I don't care about the title. I care about the responsibilities and the compensation for you. When the window happens for you where it's reasonable for you to get bumped up or to ask for it, you ask for it. If they say no, then you go to your other options that you're interviewing with, and you jump ship and you level up there, because you can actually talk about all the experiences you've had, and it'll be true, and you will be really valuable. And if they say not yet, we have to wait, then you can decide whether to pressure them or not. Like, if they're going to say, well, we just don't promote anyone to a tech lead until after it's been 4 years, if they're going to pull that, but you're operating as a tech lead, I would call their bluff, and I would say, okay, I understand you have your timeline, but I want to be compensated for the work I'm doing, and I have some other offers, and they're willing to do that within the next couple of weeks. So I might have to take that if that's your stance. Something like that. I would say it a little nicer, actually, so it seems like you want to stay at this company. And all of a sudden, watch the rules change for you. Watch the exceptions being made for you. Watch your title stay as a software engineer, fine, but your pay get at the same level as this guy. In summary, you can't get to this high level at this pace by just doing the bare minimum or just doing the normal amount. That'll get you 8% returns on the market. That'll get you a small bonus every year. That'll get you a bump here and there. But you need to basically get all these people on your side so that when these higher ups are talking to them, this comes out of their mouth. We can't lose this guy. And then you need to combine that with an opportunity, a window where it's semi-reasonable for you to ask to get bumped up in terms of your comp. And then you need to finesse your way through that window, through the leverage that you've been building from interviewing with other places, and mentally and logistically being ready to shift over if they're going to bluff or just flat out say no. That's how I would go from junior intern to tech lead in 36 months. If you've done this, or if you have other techniques to pulling this off, getting outsized career returns based on your time, then let me know in the comments. I'd love to read them. Good luck out there. Thanks for your time.